Hey there, everybody. It's Saturday night, and I'd like to thank everybody for being here. I do have one quick question for everybody, though. As winter fast approaches, millions of people, have you looked at your electric bills? Have you had to fill your fuel tank and get that filled yet for your heat this coming winter? Has that drove you broke? Did you have a heart attack? Did you go to the store and have to put things back because you can't afford it? You went over your budget. Did you go to the gas station? Did you end up only be able to get $15, maybe $20 in gas because the prices are all going up? We are in a dire emergency situation here, folks, and we need to discuss this. We need to talk about these things tonight. Some of these problems, and hopefully come up with some solutions to these vital situations that we are in. So welcome, everybody, to Survival Preparedness for Beginners. I really do appreciate everybody being here. I hope everybody has been paying attention and is prepped and ready. So let's start off here, folks. I'd like to say hello to everybody. There's a lot of people that are on here already. I'm guessing everybody can hear me just fine. Please give me a number one if you can hear me. I'm looking for that number one to make sure everything is working properly, which it should be. We had a lot of different things that have taken place here. Hippies Hive, thank you very much. And there we go. All the number ones are rolling in right now. All right. Thank you all for that. And we'd like to welcome everybody from YouTube, from Facebook. There are some Facebook people on here, and then a lot of people from YouTube. And we are live on YouTube and two different Facebook channels. So if you're ever away and you do not be able to connect through YouTube, you can always connect through the live stream on Survival Preparedness for Beginners, which is listed on my channel on the Facebook page there. We're also on Instagram. So we've got a lot of things going on. The website is coming along. That's being all totally redone. And we're going to be offering a lot of different things on there in the coming future. But we have to really sit back and think about what is all taking place. I'd also like to thank all the members that are in here right now. Thank you all very much. And let's just see who all is in here. We have my moderators. We have Jam. We have Cassie. We have Copy First and Speak. We also have JT. And these are all great moderators. They've been on this channel for a very, very long time. And I'd like to thank them from the bottom of my heart, because without them, I wouldn't be able to keep everybody in check. That'd be very difficult to do while you're trying to talk and do a live stream and everything else. They are very helpful. They also give a lot of people a lot of great information and try to help people out. So these moderators are top notch, and I do appreciate them very much. So let's see who's here real quick, and we're going to get going on this video. Actually, I'm going to start at the bottom because it's going to be a lot easier. We got Johnny, 3806. Copy First and Speak. C. Roberts. We have Julie. We have Luca. K. Paul. Doctor. We have Stephanie Miller. Pitbull's on here. C. Roberts is on here. Cabas. Stephen Lee. Sean, he's on here. Mama Dukes. We have James Brown is on here. All right. Julie's on here. We have Mr. Pepper Journey is on. Or My Pepper Journey. My fault. As I'm going to speak, it's jumping. So White Hammer's on here. James is here. 67 Valid. Steele is here. Let's see who else. Dana M. Mid-grind preparedness is here. Johnny's here. Tony, Robert, Sheila, Nancy, Traveler, White Buffalo, Carol, Rockamoss. How you doing, Rockamoss? Hope you're staying well. Blue Cajun Rose is on here. Honeybee. Lefty Lisa's on here. We've got Carol Ann, Debbie Z, the last man standing, Crazy Backyard Chicken Man. Hey, good to see you, sir. I'm glad you're here. All right, let's see who else is on here. Hippies Hive is on here. You haven't been on in a while. Nice to see you. Gene is on here. Trapper Bob. How you doing, Trapper Bob? Lisa Z. Storm Rider. Gina. Mouse. Tennessee Patriots on here. All right. All right, folks. So we do have quite a few things that we're going to be discussing tonight. It goes along the lines with this whole problem that we are having right now and why we are in a dire emergency situation. And some of this stuff is just a little bit crazy, folks. I'm telling you, it is a little bit scary too. What is taking place right now in this country? For one, on Tuesday, everybody has to get out and vote. Now, I'm not going to say here, I'm not going to tell you how to vote. I'm not going to do any of that type of stuff because it is your freedom to vote for whoever you believe is going to make the best decisions for you and your family. So you have to make sure that you do get out and vote. It is very critical. These races in all these states are very, very close. I'm not one on polls, all right, because we all know how the polls all go. But it's pretty ironic how close all these races and everything else are. And you all have to get out and you have to do your duty and vote. Now, maybe some of you weren't able to get out and go vote and you did the mail-in ballot or whatever. As long as you voted, that's all that matters. There are ways that you can track your voting. You can actually see if it was actually received or not. There's ways you can do that. You can go online. You can find that information out. And this way here, you can track your vote and you can see if it was actually made it to where it was supposed to go and was actually counted. If it wasn't, there are ways that you can still go up to your local polling place, and you can vote personally if you have to at that point in time. But there's so many things that are taking place right now. That is probably one of the top things that you need to make sure that you're doing this coming week on Tuesday. Now, why are we in such dire emergency situation right now? If you all haven't been aware, okay, they just raised the interest rates again. And they've already said that they're going to do it again. So what they're basically trying to do is they have to put everybody in a pickle. I have to be very careful how I word all this kind of stuff because I don't want to get in trouble with the YouTube police here. So what I'm saying is a lot of things that are taking place right now and everything else with the federal government and everything, they keep putting out these different numbers and everything. Unemployment is still at an all-time low. A lot of major companies are starting to cut back on how many people they were going to be hiring for this upcoming Christmas season. Everybody from your shipping companies to your retail companies to all your big businesses and everything else. People rely on these type of Christmas jobs to get them through, give them the extra cash and everything else. And what's taking place is they're cutting back on how many people they are going to be hiring. Now, what does that mean? That means what's taking place and what the Fed has been doing is starting to work. But they're not going to stop until it hits a certain point, until it hits a certain criteria. Okay, folks? And this is a criteria. Your savings account, if you have a savings account, if you have an emergency fund, you have any of this kind of stuff, the Fed doesn't want you to have that because basically you have a backup. And let's face it, a lot of people right now are having to put a lot of things on their credit cards. Credit cards, your credit card debt in this country is at all-time high. It's way up there, folks. It's ridiculous. Okay. A lot of people don't have a choice. This is the sad part. Now, what the Fed wants is they want the unemployment rate to rise a lot higher than what it is right now. They want it between the 5 and 7%, not the 3 point some odd percent that it is right now. Okay. Now, you turn around, they don't want you to have all this money in your savings account either. So they're going to make things so expensive that you're going to have to start burning through your savings. You see, they want to try to make sure that they have you by the cojones, if you understand what I'm saying. And this way here, they have total control over what you do, what you buy, and the whole 9 yards. And this is their way of curtailing this inflation that we are in right now. Now, what else does that mean for you and me? This also means that what's going to take place is you're not going to be able to afford a lot of different things. You're going to have to be making tough decisions on what you are buying. So what do you have to do? You have to make sure that you don't want to play along with their game. Try not to max out those credit cards. You want to make sure that you are trying to do your best to pay cash if you possibly can. If you do use the credit cards, I'm not against credit cards, but if you do use your credit cards, try to pay the balance off before you are charged an interest rate at the end of the month, because the interest rates on the credit cards are skyrocketing. You have home prices, all the home sales and stuff, those are all starting to tank. So the Fed, what they're doing is working. All right. The Fed and the government are in two different pages here. The government wants to see more jobs. They're boasting about the low unemployment rate. They're boasting about, the GDP just posted a profit and everything else. And then you have the Fed, on the other hand, that's saying low unemployment rate is not good. GDP, a positive, is not good. Companies still staying in business is not good. Unemployment lines don't exist, isn't good. All right. Are you all following me at this point in time? Why are we in such a dire emergency? You have fuel oil prices that are astronomical right now, and they're going to be going up another 27 to 28%. They just put out a new figure just a couple weeks ago on what they believe will be the top rate pay that you're going to be paying for fuel oil. Now, all up and down the East Coast, especially in the Northeast, is, most of the people use fuel oil. My sister-in-law lives in Long Island, and she had to get fuel this past week. $6.21 a gallon. My daughter's in Vermont. They had to pay $5.21 a gallon. So here's the thing, folks. It's going to go up another 27 to 28%. My thing is, I do have a video coming out. I'm going to show you on all these different graphs. That video will be out on Monday. Okay. I'm going to show you on all these different graphs how much the oil is that people are buying now compared to when I did the video. The numbers were up to October 31st. Excuse me. I'll take you back and show you what they were on October 3rd. And then I take you back and show you what they are January 3rd, beginning of this year. And you'll see how much prices have gone up on fuel oil. Now, we're still in this whole deliberation thing with the railroad. All right. And we don't know if they're going to come to agreement, if it's going to stick, if they're going to strike. And if they strike, I don't care what company it is, they're going to be hurting. Walmart included. Walmart, Target, every single company out there is going to be hurting. A lot of your shipping companies are going to be hurting too. FedEx, UPS, all of them. They use the railroad to move your packages and stuff faster than they can by a truck. You see, they can put something on a train in Miami, down here in Florida, and send it up to the Northeast, say up into Boston, and it'll be there in no time. You know, I don't know if any of you have seen any of these real long trains that come through your towns or whatever that are just cruising right along. I mean, here, when they come through, they're cruising along about 50, 60 miles an hour. And there's hundreds of cars on this thing. And if you watch, all you see is UPS and FedEx and UPS and FedEx, and you see the containers that are coming off the container ships and everything else, and they're all headed north. You know, I mean, this could affect a lot of different things. And we're not even talking about moving goods from the West Coast to the East Coast or vice versa from the East Coast to the West Coast. I mean, we're in a very dire situation here, and people really need to understand this and really need to be paying attention to what is taking place. We have to make sure that what we are doing wisely. You have some of the highest food prices that we've seen in a very, very long time. Some of you have never seen the prices this high. Okay. We also have high gas prices. Gas prices are only going to keep going up. Mark my words, folks. Once the election here is over, hold on to your pantyhose, because, oh boy, is it going to get interesting, and the roller coaster ride is going to begin. Because then, at that point in time, depending on whichever party wins and who controls the seats in the House and the Senate, things are going to get really ugly. Because right now they have been trying to do anything and everything to make sure that they get your vote, and they want to make sure that it looks really good. All right. You had Biden that come out just a few days ago and said he was releasing billions of dollars to help people afford their energy costs this year to heat their homes. Now, why would you do that just a few days before an election? We know why. Okay. We don't have to go into that. But the point is, once that day is over, they no longer care about you and me. And this is what I'm afraid of. Things are going to go downhill drastically. Nobody's going to be there and have our backs. And we're on our own. Now, maybe a lot of people out there don't agree with me on that. But when you say here and you read articles like I read articles from every different news source possible, a lot of these analysts and stuff and these head top people, they all believe the same thing. And that's a scary thing. What I'm really worried about is people in this community. I'm worried that people aren't going to be prepared. There are a lot of people out here that are new. I had received several emails. That's why one of the videos that came out last week, and that video came out and it was, on just things that basic beginners need to really start prepping, how to start prepping and what you can do, just to give you an idea, because a lot of people have reached out to me through email and wanted me to do a video like that. Even though I have videos like that I've done years ago, I just did a quick video explaining where to start and things that you need to be getting now. Now, some people are reaching out to me from England because they're going through a drastic situation also. You see, we're not in this boat all by ourselves here, folks. This is a world crisis that we are dealing with right now. We are in the midst of something big that is changing. Now, I can't pinpoint exactly what it is. There's a lot of people out there and a lot of channels that want to pinpoint what they believe it might be. And there's all these conspiracy theories and everything else. And I don't really like going that route. All I'm going to say is there's stuff that's in the works, there's stuff that is happening, and we need to make sure that we are doing our best to be prepared. We have to make sure that we are paying attention to what is going on around the world, not just in our backyard. You see, we can pay attention to what's in our backyard. It's very easy. You can pick up a newspaper, you can hear it on your local radio station, your local news. You can pay attention to what's going on in our country. You can put on any type of um, national broadcast system, NPR. You can put on PBS. You can put on, if you choose to watch a media, you can put those on. You can find out what's going on. The problem is what is it that you're going to believe? Because everybody does a different spin on the situations. They all talk about the problem, but everybody has a different spin on the situation. So this is where it comes into play, where you need to make sure that you are basically getting out there and you're trying to find the information for yourself. Now, I do totally understand there are a lot of people in this community that do not really pay attention or watch a lot of news on the TV, which I'm fine with. I mean, I know my own mother, they don't watch nightly news anymore. They don't watch any of those, they just choose just not to watch it. It's not worth it to them. I mean, mom's in her 80s and she'll put the local news on and she knows what time the weather comes on and she watches the weather forecast and then she turns it off and she'll watch an old show, listen to music, whatever. You see, because for the older folks, I think it's more depressing on what is taking place to this country that they worked so hard to build. They were all part of it. And they see what's going on and it breaks their heart. It breaks my heart. And I'm not that old. But things are totally different now than when I was a kid. When I was a kid, you could go out. I mean, in the summertime when you're out of school, you'd be up at the crack of dawn, you were gone. But when the street lights came on, you better have your rear end at home or you're going to get in serious trouble. And maybe there's a lot of people out there that can relay that one with me. That's what everything was based off, was the street lights. You better be home when the street lights come on. We could go riding our bikes. We go riding for miles. I mean, you didn't worry about anything back then. I mean, nowadays I wouldn't let my kid out of my sight. Depending on where you live, I guess. If you live in the country or a small town or something, not that it couldn't happen there, but the chances are a lot lot less than living in a large city or something. I mean, you look at all the crime rate. I mean, it's in every city. I mean, when you turn on the TV and stuff, it doesn't matter. I mean, there's killings every morning. You turn on the TV down here in Orlando, somebody was shot and killed overnight. Doesn't matter. It happens in all the major cities. It's just a part of life. And we just have to make sure that we are prepared for what chaos will be consuming a lot of people here in the near future. And what I'm talking about is not only food shortages. You're going to have energy shortages. You're going to have people that are going to be fluxed into being homeless. And the homeless rate is already astronomical right now. And I cover that also in my video on Monday with all my graphs and everything else, so you guys can see what that really is. But a lot of people, once they get into these desperate type situations, they're going to do desperate things. So if things start going south, the biggest thing that you have to make sure that you do is you always got to watch your back. And that's why being a prepper is very, very important at this point in time in the times we live in. Because it means you have to put yourself at a less likelihood of something happening to you, because you have to go out and you have to go to the store. You have to go here. You have to do this. You have to buy that. And all this kind of stuff. And if you've been prepping and you've put up stuff, and as I've talked about in several of my videos, it's not just about your food. You have to take a whole picture, and you have to see what you use on a daily basis, you and your family. That's just how we have to do it. It's the safest way to do it nowadays because of all the craziness that is out there. A lot of people, you still have to go to work, unless you win the Powerball tonight. If you win the Powerball tonight, well, you don't have to go to work. Think of it that way, What's your chances of winning? I think you got a better chance of being struck by lightning twice than you do winning the lottery. I did buy a few tickets, but hey, we'll see what happens. If I did win, there's going to be one heck of a giveaway on here. But anyways, we have to make sure that we are paying attention to our surroundings and what we are doing. You got to make sure that if you are stockpiling food, if you are buying food to put up, watch out and make sure that people aren't watching you. That's a big thing. Another thing is don't be broadcasting that you have all this kind of stuff and you're putting everything up and you just, you're not putting it on social media. You're taking pictures and putting it on social media and you're doing all this type of stuff. Unless you're a YouTube creator and you're on here and you're watching me, I highly don't suggest you do any of that kind of stuff. You want to keep a low key, as low as possible. You may have some of your family that's going to know what you've been doing and stuff, because some of them are probably not going to agree with it. They're going to think you're crazy, nuts, and everything else. But that's perfectly fine. I've been in that position. Don't even faze me anymore. I do what I do. If people like it, fine. If people don't, that's fine too. Because I found that it's better to be prepared than not. And I was so glad I was prepared come March of 2020, because I went to the store, but I just went to see the show. Sitting there, watch people fight over toilet paper. Literally. I mean, come on, folks. You got to have the food products and everything else. I mean, people weren't fighting over any of the food products or anything like that. I mean, it was just amazing to watch people turn into animals for a brief moment in history. And I'm hoping that at some point in time in the future, that to help people understand the importance of being prepped to a certain point. Now, granted, not everybody out here is going to be able to go out and, and have a year's worth of food and everything else. But having a 3-week supply of backup food isn't a bad thing. You could use it as a working pantry. And then you always have stuff that you can fall back on, say if you get sick. Oh, maybe you get a bad storm. Maybe you just don't feel like going to the store. You have the food. You have your supplies. You have everything you need. So you can just stay in the comforts of your own home where you're safe and you don't have to deal with the madness that's out there in the world. Why are we going through this dire situation? Well, there's a lot of things that have played into that. I received an email the other day asking me that very question, why I thought that we were going through such a rough time and things were not looking good. Did I think it was the end of times? Did I think God was coming back? Did I think that it was all premeditated? It's all thought out. It was a thought process. It was a very interesting email. Now, for one, none of us know when God is going to return. Okay. If you believe in God, all right, it states right in the Bible, no man knows. Two, for this all to be premeditated, pre-thought out, and the whole 9 yards would be pretty ironic to me, but I don't completely take that off the table. The war between Ukraine and Russia, that could have been all planned. Maybe not. And I don't know if it is or not. But the email made me think about it. You have China that just came out and basically told Russia that they better not use any nuclear or dirty bombs in Ukraine, period. Now, why are they doing that? Why are they telling him in Russia, just to say here, folks, all right, follow me. Why is China telling Russia not to use any nukes or dirty bombs on Ukraine? But right next door in North Korea, he's been firing off missiles left and right, very close to South Korea, Japan, and that whole area down there. They haven't said anything to him publicly. Now, we all know that he is going to be basically the front runner here for China to, I would say, almost distract us from Taiwan, because that's what they really want. They want Taiwan. They don't give two craps about North Korea or South Korea. All right. They want Taiwan. They want Taiwan because Taiwan is the one that's making all the money. All right. Every chip just about that we use for anything right now. I mean, from the microphone I'm using here, my cell phone, the camera I'm using, my printer, my computer. These chips all come basically from Taiwan. The chips is in your car, so your car runs, and everything else. And China wants a piece of that pie. They see big money. And for them, it'd be worth it to invade Taiwan to take them over. But will they do that? Because they also want to make sure that they have somebody to sell them to. You see, they're stuck between two, you could say, fence posts right now. Because on one hand, they want to take over Taiwan. They've made that perfectly clear. I mean, they've held drills. They've got men all along the borders over there and everything else. But then they also have to deal with United States. And I'm not talking about the United States military. I'm talking about the United States consumers and buyers. Because you see, if something like that did happen, and all of a sudden the government said, no more imports from China, well, goodbye Walmart. And then goodbye Dollar Tree, goodbye Dollar General, Family Dollar, Target. Yeah, just about every store that we have would be closing up shop. Your mom and pop stores would probably still be open because a lot of those do sell basically a lot of stuff that's made locally, made in America. They'd probably survive. But all the big stores, I don't think they would make it. And China cannot afford to lose us as one of their top importers of all their goods. Yes, they they import stuff from us. We export to them, but on a very, very small scale. We are in a dire emergency situation because of what we have been put into. Folks, it's a very sad thing to say, but things are just not what they used to be. Things are not how they should be. You have all these people that want to defund the police. They want to close the police stations down. Well, you see what's happening in a lot of those cities where they started some of that stuff. Crime rate is out of this world. You have some of these governors and some of these states that want to just start releasing these people that's in prison and just release them to get them out of prison. Where is the thought process to that? But yet we don't have any police to make sure that if they do release these people and they act up again, that they can be taken care of and put back into where they're supposed to be. You see, we're creating a huge, massive storm on a scale that none of us have ever seen before. This storm, I believe, is going to overtake and be worse than anything humans have ever been through on this planet. Worse than the Great Depression, worse than any of the wars, because people tend to believe that what is going on around them won't affect them. And they couldn't be more wrong. People tend to believe everything that they hear from the government. And that's what the government loves. They love people that do not question. It's almost like your boss at work. They may tell you to do something, and deep down inside, I shouldn't do that. That's not right. I shouldn't go along with that or anything else. But you do it because you were told to do it. But here's the problem with that. What happens when somebody gets caught and then they turn around and say, well, why did you do that? And you can say, well, that manager told me to do it. And then you go to the manager and the manager's going to sit there and say, I never told him to do that. So now it's got your word against theirs. Whereas if you refuse to do it in the first place, what are they going to do to you? They're going to try firing you? Well, in this day and age, we have a lawyer for everything. There's a lawyer to save every grasshopper that's out there. There's a lawyer to save every butterfly and everything else. Don't believe me? Well, if nothing else, move to Florida. You'll see what I'm talking about. We have more lawyers down here than you can stick a stick at. And they will really go after any employer that tried to pull something like that. Now, would you be threatened? That is a whole nother question. But see, the government, they like those people that believe everything that they say. They like the people that follow what they're told to do. They like the people that don't question anything. They don't like people like us preppers. For one, they know that us preppers, we are prepped and we are ready. They know that we have supplies. They know we have food. They know we can hold out for a while. They know we're not depending on them. They know that what we know is that we have seen how they have handled a lot of different situations in the history of this country. And we also know that it didn't end well. And that's why one of the main reasons I started this channel, as I have said very, very many times. And I know some of you that have been on here for a while, you may be sick of me hearing me say this, but there's so many new people coming in. And it's so important right now in the times that we live in that people understand the true fact that the ball is in your court. You have to make the decision on what you're going to do for you and your family. I can sit here and I can do videos. I can talk about stuff. I can show you stuff. I've set up an Amazon storefront for you to, you don't have to shop there, but to give you ideas, you know? I mean, I'm trying to cover a lot of different areas between YouTube. I've got a website coming up. I've got Facebook. I've got Instagram. I've got all these things in the works and everything's all coming together. Everything's starting to come together and everything's, and I'm trying to get the most information out there that I can get out there to help out as many people as I possibly can, because that's the reason why I started my channel to begin with. I started this channel because I was watching a few certain preppers, and it really got me thinking that what they were doing and what they were talking about and everything else was exactly how I felt. And you know what? I took a leap and I wanted to start my own channel. And I did it. And, you know, at first, it was like you get like, 50 views. It's like, wow, hey, party, and it made you feel good. And then because you felt good, because you felt like you were actually helping people. And that's the thing. On this channel here, and there's quite a few other channels that are the same way. All right. Because I have channels that I watch, not a lot like I used to because I don't really have a lot of time anymore. But I try to catch sometimes, one or two of their videos or something. I may not be able to get to watch all of them, depends on how long they are, but I try to, stay kind of in contact with some of these, channels that I started watching years ago before I even started my channel. And, we're all on the same page as far as we do what we do because we care. You see, we're different than the government. We're going to tell you things for a reason, and we're going to give you a solution. Unlike with the government, they create the problems, but we have no solutions for the given said problems. And that's the issue. Everybody wants to sit here and bicker back and forth in the government. Whereas in preppers, when we're on our channels on here, when we're doing our live stream, I can see all the comments and stuff scrolling up and down through. Now, granted, I'm not really reading them right now. I'm not, because I can just see them running through. But what I'm saying is I know a lot of people on there because I go back and I skim through them, even after the live stream is over. And I sit there and, you see people ask questions about this, you see somebody ask a question about that. And next thing you know, you'll see somebody give an answer about this. Somebody will give an answer about that. And you see, that's what it's about. We're all helping each other out in the times we live in, which is so very important, right? I mean, what is more important? Gaining the knowledge that you are looking to get, knowing how maybe to do something, where to look to buy something, where you want to be in your particular situation for you and your family. What is it that you want to make sure that you have and you know how to use? Is it a Coleman stove? Is it a Camp Chef oven? Do you know how to use charcoal? Do you know how to start a regular fire if you had to? Can you cook if the power goes out? You see, we all can have all the food and stuff in the world, but if electricity all of a sudden goes out, do you have backup to continue on? Do you have ways to filter water if some reason the water is shut off? Water is very important. It's the most important prep. So if you can't store water, then you have to have some way to filter the water so that you can go to a stream, a river, whatever you do have. You can get water out of there and filter the water so that you have clean drinking water. And if you're still not sure if it's clean enough, you can always, after you filter it, bring it to a boil it for a few minutes, let it cool, and you're good to go. But what I'm trying to say here, folks, is we try to make sure that on this channel, what we are doing is we're trying to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to have the time to ask a question, turn around, and then get an answer. And that's why with the members only on my channel. Now, if you can't afford it, that's fine. I'm not asking everybody to join it. Don't even think that. But I'm going to start doing a monthly live stream, and that's going to be coming up soon. Okay? Possibly next weekend. And this way here, there's not a lot of people on there. So you people could ask a lot of questions. We could have a lot of in-depth question and answer type situations and everything else. And hopefully, if people have questions, they get them answered. Or if they need more of a one-on-one type of situation, maybe we can come to an agreement on something, and through email or maybe possibly a phone call. It just depends on the situation that is at hand. You all can email me anytime you want. If you have any questions, if you have anything you want to share, I would ask that if you're going to email me about things you are seeing and everything else, please send me some pictures. You don't have to tell me what town you're in or anything else, and I will never use your name or anything like that on my channel unless you tell me that I can, or you want me to, or whatever. But I'll never use it without your acknowledgement, without your permission. I'll use your information unless you tell me not to. And that's fine too, because I have received quite a few of those emails where they asked me, please do not do a video and talk about this, but just so you're aware of what is going on. I do get those emails. I think a lot of us out here in the content creator world right now have been getting quite a few of these. Things that we really have to make sure that we're paying attention to, folks, is this. We're in a dire emergency situation. Inflation is going to keep going up. We have food prices that are skyrocketing as we speak. Every week to go to the store, they're costing more and more and more. You have gas prices, all right? Maybe they're not too bad right now in your area, but wait until after the election because things are going to get ugly. We're still running on this shortage of diesel fuel and fuel oil for your furnaces. Now, supposedly, there is one of the main plants is going to be coming back online, the refineries, and hopefully that is going to take care of that situation. But they haven't given a set date when that's supposed to happen. And we're dwindling down on our diesel and fuel oil stock here. So if we got a real bad cold snap right now that came across the country, it would be a nail in a coffin for their diesel crisis and fuel oil crisis that is on the hill that's coming down. Once again, we also have to remember that with what's taking place, it's so very important for everybody to get out and vote this coming week. Because depending on which way this goes, it could be good or bad, depending on what side of the fence you're on. And like I said, I'm not going to sit here and tell you which way to vote. They tried doing that where I work. They try to tell you who to vote for. Nobody's going to tell me who to vote for. I'll vote for who I want to vote for when I want to vote. Period. It's my right. It's my freedom. It's your freedom. And freedom right now is something I think we're fighting for. I think there's a lot of things that are just going the wrong way And we got to try to figure out how to get them back on track and get them back to the right way so that our families, our grandkids, our kids, and everything else can get out of this just nasty system that they got right now, because it just ain't working. It's doing nothing but creating more problems than what it's worth. Where are we at? Oh, 50 minutes. So I want people to remember this. All right. The biggest thing that you can do to deal with this dire emergency situation that we are all coming in, all of us, every single one of us, unless you win the Powerball tonight, your only situation you're going to have is what island you're going to buy so that nobody can get to you. But rather than that, we're all in this same situation. It's costing more for everything. Every single thing that we do, it costs you more money. It costs you more money for your internet. It costs you more money for your TV. It costs you more money for your cell phone. It costs you more money for your credit cards. It costs you more money to buy a home, for your rent, electricity, heating, gas for your car, food, medical, everything. Everything costs more money. And most of us aren't making more money. So you're having to relearn exactly how it is that you have to go about your daily life. And in closing, this is what I'm going to say. The most important thing that you can be doing to offset this emergency type situation that we are in is you really have to pay attention to your spending. You have to ask yourself, is this something I really need? Or is this something I can put off until another time, or maybe till things are better in this country? You have to really put the important things first. Roof over your head, food on your table, heat for your home, and gas for your car so you can get back and forth to work. And you have to make sure that you do have enough money for that. And there's ways that you can go around budgeting and all this kind of stuff. And I talk about that on my video on Monday. I'm not going to get into that in this video here. I don't really have a lot of time left. And I want to get over here and see if I can read some of these questions or anything like that. If you do have any questions, please put them in all capital letters, and I will try my best to get to those questions and everything else. There's a lot on here. I mean, there's over 1,000 people in here right now. So we have to make sure that we are doing our part in being prepared. We have to make sure that we are using and planning our money wisely so that we have enough to go around. Maybe we have enough to stash away in a rainy day fund just on a chance. We have to make sure that we're paying attention to what is going on around us at any given moment in time. And we don't want to be broadcasting anything that we are doing with our preps. We want to make sure that that is staying hush hush, and we are just going about our daily lives. We're just doing what we have to do, and we're being prepared. That is the most important thing that you can do right now, is being prepared. Because we don't know exactly when the shit's going to hit the fan. I can guarantee you at some point it's going to. Because even Walmart, in my video tomorrow, even Walmart is having issues. It's not really like on the mainstream media because these big companies like to keep everything hush hush. Okay. But they're having problems. If you start digging, you can find some of these different problems that they're having. And I talk about that in my Walmart video tomorrow. It comes out at high noon every Sunday. But it's quite amazing because here's the thing, folks. if the number one retailer in the world is having issues and problems, and I know there's a lot of people out here, especially on my channel, you don't like Walmart, you don't shop at Walmart, but you need to pay attention to this. If they're having problems because they have the power and the control over just about everything, if they're having problems, what do you think's happening to everybody else? Follow me? Tune into the video tomorrow at noon. You'll see what I'm talking about. So with that being said, I am going to jump over here and see if I can read some of these questions. Make sure you do put them in all capital letters so that they do stand out. And let's see who all is here. What's going on? Because there's over 1,000 people here. Look at that. Start calling all you guys the 1,000 Club. We're all in the 1,000 Club. All right. Let's see here. All right. Let's see. Make American Patriot says if they try to cheat on this election like the last one, this time there will be violence and the people won't have it. Be violence. Yeah, I would also have to say that. Let's see here. Walmart needs a video. Yes, I do agree. All right, Francis says, keep preps on the down low. We are being tracked. It's a fact, not a conspiracy theory. Or we're being tracked with a lot of different things. So I definitely would agree with that. I mean, it's anything and everything we do nowadays, they know. It doesn't matter. They got cameras everywhere. If you haven't noticed, it won't be long and everything's going to be tied together. And I wouldn't even be surprised if it comes down to like your Ring doorbells and all this type of stuff is all going to be filtered in. They'll be able to do live feed to see what's going on in your neighborhood or whatever else, or watch you, however you want to look at it. All right, so James says Walmart's part of government system. They're not having issues. This is a part of the plan. I don't know if Walmart is actually part of the government system. They have way too much money, and the government would really like to have that. But then again, you never know. Weirder things have happened. Yes, after midterms, if not tomorrow, big week ahead. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. And for all you folks that live in any place where you got to change your lovely clocks, don't forget you got to change your clocks back an hour. Now, let's hope and pray that whichever one wins in this election, that hopefully they can get this stupid thing passed and done away with, so that when spring comes around, supposedly what they are saying, if once spring comes around, we set our clocks ahead again, that's where they'll stay. But all I know is I'm sick and tired of switching the clocks. Oh, that's nice. 3 deers in the freezer. Plan to add 5 more this year. Nice. All right, Jan. I think Jan might have had to leave. That's okay, Jan. You're always here. I urge people to install a dry well. That could be, depending on where you live, that could be a possibility, though. I mean, that's a good idea. I don't think that's bad information whatsoever. Let's see here. Mo says, I can make socks out of dog fur. Hey, I mean, when push comes to shove, we're all going to do whatever we have to. And I would actually totally agree. You just got to keep topping things off, especially if you use any part of your preps or anything as a working pantry. You want to make sure that you are, topping those things off as you use those products, and watch for some really good sales. Oh, I did notice. I don't know if any of you guys noticed or anything, or if it's just my area. Um, Walmart dropped the price on a lot of their canned goods. Now their green beans had went up to 58 cents a can, and they dropped the prices back to 50 cents a can where they were before they started raising the prices. So I don't know if you all knew that or not, but on quite a few of their canned goods, they raised them to 58 from 50. They're all 50 cents, at least in my area. Now I don't know if that's the same in yours. It may be worth checking out. Because I stocked up on some more canned goods this weekend and stuff. I mean, they dropped the prices back down. I was like, hey, I know it's only 8 cents a can, but you know what? I'll stock up some more. We go through a lot of, we like green beans. So we go through a lot of green beans in this house. That seems to be the vegetable of choice in this house. So I just wanted to let you all know on that one there. Little Red Hen says, I don't bother to play the Powerball. Only rich people win anyway. No. Well, if I win, I wasn't rich, but I'm rich now. That's if I win. Chances of winning are very, very slim. And actually, the way it was explained to me is the higher the Powerball goes, the chances of winning are even higher increased. So you have a better chance of waiting until somebody wins it and then play it again when the money's low, because your odds of winning are higher than what they are now. American Patriot. Well, thank you very much. It's very reasonable. Watch your spending. Yes. I mean, that's what it comes down to, really, folks. I mean, we just got to pay attention to what you're spending your money and stuff on. And you have to make sure that, what you're buying is something that you really need. Johnny says, that reminds me, I need to buy new socks. See, you came on here for a reason. Now get out there and get those socks. All right. Okay, let me see here. Yes, everybody hit the thumbs up, please. I really do appreciate that. That really helps the good old algorithm. Oh, I remember those days. My son comes running and he pulled out his tooth. Ha ha. Lefty Lisa, that's a good one. Yep. Oh, to have those days back. All right, so Jason William says it doesn't cost more money. The purchase power of your money currency has been devalued. Now, this is probably true also. There's so much stuff that is going on. Let me see here. What are we at? 1 minute and 30 seconds. Okay. Mo says, no questions, but we are all coming to your house. Well, you know what? If it comes down to that, everybody come on. You know what? Cancel cable, put the money towards your preps. Yes, nowadays, you know what? I mean, actually, that is a really good thing that some people probably could get away with. More than likely, don't take this the wrong way, but the older folks, they don't have the technology and all the gadgets and stuff that the younger people do or know how to use. So they still need probably a cable box or something like that. But all you really need is internet. And with the internet, I mean, you can, if you have a smart TV or a smartphone with a smart TV, you can cast shows and stuff right from your phone, or you can get them right on your TV. And, some of the stuff is free. You can pay for different subscriptions and stuff like that. I do know a few people that have done that and they saved a ton of money. We would do that only with my mother-in-law living with us. She couldn't figure out how to use all that kind of stuff. So at this point in time, we haven't done that, but if anything ever did happen, that would probably be one of the first things that would be going is the cable because we wouldn't need it. We can watch anything, you know, and in our bedroom we don't have a cable line in there because they want to charge you an astronomical fee to put a cable line in. So what we do in there is we have a smart TV, use my cell phone here, and I can cast stuff right to the smart TV. And because sometimes my phone connects to the Wi-Fi and stuff a lot better, or if not, it runs on 5G. I'm in Florida; it's flat. There's 5G everywhere. So what happens is I'll just cast it from my phone right to the TV, and we can just watch TV that way. But that's a great way that you can save money and try to put that to something else that you're going to need. Very, very good. South Florida DLC, how you doing? I see JT put your channel up. Nice going. All right. All right, let me scroll all the way down here to the bottom. We got to start wrapping this up. I know you guys, it's Saturday night. Wait, you guys get an extra hour sleep tonight. We could run for another hour, right? I mean, come on, at 2 o'clock, it's 1 o'clock. Just kidding, folks. I'm not going to keep you here all night long. All right. So the one thing that I want everybody to make sure that you are taking out of this, first off, I want to just, thank everybody for everything that you do. Do me a favor. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It's one of the biggest things that could really help the channel out. There's a lot of people that watch these live streams, all my videos and everything else, and they're not subscribed. I can see it in my analytics, and I know. It just helps the channel grow. And if you click the notification bell, you don't have to, but if you click the notification bell, you're going to get notified every time that I release a video. And you can also get notified when the live streams. You get notified about a lot of things. There are a lot of different ways that you can get information, not just from me. If you watch one of my videos and you see whatever the video could be about, if you put something in there and all of a sudden, you don't really realize what is taking place, what is happening, and you have questions, you put questions in there, I guarantee you somebody in there is probably going to try to help you out and answer, because that's just the type of community and everything that we do have here, which is a very, very great thing. I really do. I have to say that this community is just amazing. I am very proud of how this community is. We have very few problems as far as anybody, and we do have very, very good moderators that take care of any of those type of situations and everything else, and they keep everything fun and safe for everybody that wants to come on here and join in on the live streams. We are in the midst, as I did say in the very beginning of this live stream, we are also in the midst of the website is being totally redone. Once that gets all done, I urge everybody to go over there and throw in your email address. We're going to start after the first of the year. Hopefully, we're going to start having some newsletters and weekly newsletters and stuff go out. We do have the Facebook and the Instagram page. If you guys would want to go over there and check that out and like that helps out too. Every little bit helps. And what I mean is we're trying to get the message out to everybody, and we're trying to reach as many people as we can. You could look at it as, your favorite politician. He has to go around and he has to do all these different talks and speeches and meet and greets and everything else. He has to answer questions. He has to take questions, the whole 9 yards. Content creators and what we're doing, we're almost in the same line so that people understand what I'm trying to say. We try to take questions and everything else. That's why I said, if I don't read your question on here, I'm sorry, because there's thousands of them. You can always email me. I'll do my best to get back to you within a timely manner. Now, I do get a lot of email, so it could take me a while. If it's something important, put something in the subject line or whatever, that's going to grab my attention, large, make it capital letters or something, because I get so many emails and I try to sift through them and see which ones are, whatever, because you get people that want you know, they want to run ads on my channel. They want me to do reviews on, I don't know, cologne and watches and all this stuff that doesn't even pertain to it's like, and they talk about, oh, we love your channel. Well, what you want me to do doesn't even pertain to my channel. So block. You see what I'm saying? So, but you can always email me. That's another little quick tool that you guys do have. You can send me a quick email and I could try to get back to you as soon as I possibly can, you know. But we have such a great community here. They help out so much and everything else. Also, I want people to realize that I do have my Amazon storefront. There is a lot of stuff in there. I've updated a lot of things and put stuff in there. And right now, there is a review video coming out on a battery bank, but I want to tell you people about this first. So I'm giving you a little bit of information before that video comes out this week. All right. Right now, if you go on to my Amazon storefront, which you can click the link right from my main page and go on my Amazon storefront, go into the battery banks section. All right. It's all broken down into all different types of sections, makes it very easy for you. Listen, you go in there. The first one that's listed right there is an EBL 330 watt battery bank. Thing is, I tell you what, I was very impressed. And wait till you see all the stuff there. I hooked up to this thing. I put a surge protector on it, a strip, and I had like 4 or 5 things plugged in that thing. Plus, 1, 2, 3. I think it was 3. 3 other things plugged in. My cell phone was charging on top. But here's the thing. All right, right now, Amazon has these things on sale. It's a package deal. You get the 330 watt. It's a pure shine wave technology battery bank system with a 100-watt solar panel, and it retails for over $500. They have it like $150 off right now. It's like $354. Telling you, just go on there, check it out. I'm not telling you to buy it, but I'm just saying, in the times we live in, it's a great little battery bank, only weighs 7.2 pounds. Thing is pretty awesome. So the video on it's going to be coming out this week. All right. It's in the process of being edited right now. And you guys can see it then, but I don't know if the sale is going to be going on then. That's why I'm telling you now. So that's what you get when you come on here live. I try to give you a little bit tidbits of information, maybe save you some money. That's what it's all about. I'm trying to save you some money right now. And that's $150. That's a lot of groceries or something. We got winter coming, power outages. I mean, you're getting a package deal for $350. And the thing works pretty good. I'm telling you. So anyways, folks, I've run on too long. I hope everybody stays safe. I want people out there to really, really think about everything that is going on in this country. Make sure that you do set your clocks back. Make sure you do get out and vote this week. Make sure that you are staying prepped. Make sure you are staying ready, because we don't know what tomorrow holds. And nowadays, that's the scary part. We don't know where this is all going to go. We don't know if it's going to end or get worse. I'm leaning towards it's going to get worse before it gets better, because we are being warned of that. Just like I did in one of my videos, we have to prepare for what we know is coming, because they are telling us it is happening. I'd like to thank all my moderators. I'd like to thank everybody for being here. Thank you for joining me on Saturday night for live stream. I will make sure we have another live stream next Saturday night. We do have a big giveaway that I'm putting together for Christmas, and that's coming up soon. I'll give you more details as I start working out this information with a few people. And also, I wanted to make sure that all the members know I do appreciate you being here. Thank you for joining the members club. Like I said, it is not necessary, but it does help with everything that I do for this channel and everything that goes on here. It makes me help you a lot better. It makes it a lot more easy for you people when I can branch out and start bringing more information in different areas, different aspects of your life rather than just YouTube. So, with that being said, once again, thank you everyone for everything that you do for this channel. Thank you for everything that you do for my family on through this channel. I'd like to thank everybody for all your time when you watch my videos, for all your comments, for everything from the likes, subscribes, and everything else. And do me a favor and share my videos with all your friends and family, especially if they are on the fence about prepping, because it is so important to get the word out so that people are prepared. Once again, I'd like to thank my moderators. I'd like to thank everybody else that is here. And until next Saturday night, don't forget to turn your clocks back. And don't forget to get out and vote. And until next Saturday night, I will catch everyone on the flip side.